least digital gold. It's going to eat gold. It's got all of the great attributes of gold, and it's got none of the defects of gold. If you could teleport gold from New York to Tokyo in a few minutes, people would like it. It's going to divert capital from risk assets and risk ETFs like SPY, and you can see that these ETFs are doing that. It's going to be incorporated into a lot of funds like the BlackRock Global Opportunities Fund or the Strategic Income Opportunities Fund. And so it's an asset class. As it goes into other funds, it's going to become structural. The halving is going to cut the organic supply of natural sellers in half around April 20th. That means there's only about $32 million a day of natural sellers. And the price of Bitcoin is going to have to adjust up in order to meet that investor demand. So I think that's what's going to happen next to the asset class. Well, I think I'd start just with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is certainly at least digital.
So there's that. Welcome to Blockchain Crypto Gang Live. And I'm just going to kick some game. Don't have that much time. Some of that CryptTalk, give you some perspective. Couple stories just so we can see, because now that the market has pulled back, let's go ahead and let's get to some other game real quick, man. Let's do this like we're supposed to do it, man. So as you know, the purpose of let's do this right. Come on, what's happening? Let's get the dizzle. So the purpose of Blockchain Crypto Gang, and also beware of these scam coins out here. The purpose of Blockchain Crypto Gang is to give you some of the stories, some of the information, some strategies, some inspiration, and mostly just stories of what's going on in the crypto market so that you can make your own decisions. I also have some how-to tutorials, but you would have to go to Odysee for that, or I'd have to re-upload the videos from my now defunct channel, CryptTalk Podcast, and it'll show you how to do different trades, how to use DeFi, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't really have that much time. I just want to just breeze through a little bit of perspective and go through some of these coins. Now that the market has calmed down, as you should have expected it to do, I told you that this would happen when we hit the all-time high a couple of days ago. Because, of course, people are selling off because there are people who, have been holding Bitcoin for a year or so. They've been holding it since it was 14,000, and 73,000 is a good mark for them to get off the coin, which causes that's part of what causes the volatility, which makes it to where you can actually make money off the game. You want the volatility. You just have to be able to time it, right? So, but beware of these scam coins, though. Someone just tried to shill me. This is some serious business right here. There's coins out there with 27 trillion in circulation, unlimited supply cap, running only one node, so definitely not decentralized. 25% of the supply been minted in the last 6 months. And 1% of the older holders own 30%. That is a terrible coin to be in. That is a terrible asset. That is a terrible currency. So if you ever see anyone showing you something like that, make sure you run the other way. Psych! That's just the US dollar. I'm sorry. That's just the US dollar. One more thing for perspective. Even though the market is down to like 70,000, down to 70,000. That sounds crazy, right? Virtually everybody holding Bitcoin right now is in the black. If you're holding Bitcoin right now, it's almost impossible that you are not in profit. The only way you wouldn't be in profit, let me make sure my mic is on, man. Is my mic on? Of course it's on. The only way you wouldn't be in profit right now is if, where are we at? Or the only way you wouldn't be in profit right now is only if you just bought it at the all-time high of 73,500. Like if you only bought it then, like if you bought some before and then you bought some then, which would be foolish, you're in profit. The only way you could not be in profit is only if you bought it at that 73,000 mark. And if you did that, if you waited until then to make your first Bitcoin purchase, well, then you haven't really been paying attention and you don't understand what buying the dip means. But the good news is where Bitcoin is going from here, you will still likely double or triple up by the end of this bull run, maybe even quadruple up. But of course, as we know, Bitcoin is not only going to go up itself, pull Ethereum up, but it's going to pull a lot of coins up. So there's that. So I haven't really been able to do too many stories. I've been working a lot. I've been working 7 days a week because like I because I've been through a market cycle already, and I did well on it, and I could have done a lot better. Like some people do know that, I've been getting 20% of my salary automatically converted to Bitcoin, and I upped that to 35% around July because I knew that, this halving is coming. We're like 30 days away from the halving. So of course I'm working overtime. I'm working double time. I'm trying to stack these sats, right? That's what we're doing. That's what blockchain crypto gang is all about. But anyway, I'm gonna go to my wish list. Not my wish list, my watch list on Coin Market Cap. Of course, Bitcoin is sitting there 70,000 for the last 3 days or last 7 days. It's up 4%. It's at 1.3 trillion market cap. So the way I see Bitcoin going this year, you guys, most people are saying about 210,000, 250,000. And they're basing that. I know that sounds like a crazy number. They're basing that on the fact that the last all-time high of 69,000 was 3.5 times the all-time high before that. So they're saying that if that trend continues, and that's pretty much a historical trend. So, I mean, people are just saying, okay, well, if this bull run takes Bitcoin 3.5 times the previous all-time high, like the last time it happened, and the last time before that, then we're looking at about a $250,000 Bitcoin. Now, that sounds like a crazy number, and I'm not into the sensationalized moon boy. Oh, gosh, it's going through. I'm not into that. I like to be a little bit more practical, a little bit more conservative, just so my expectations aren't so high. But let's keep in mind a couple things. Last bull run, we were during a pandemic. We were during an economic worldwide, or a health pandemic worldwide that led to economic challenges. 1, 2, last bull cycle, when Bitcoin hit 69,000, there was a big lawsuit between one of the biggest crypto companies, and that would be Ripple, XRP, was fighting a case against the SEC. So a lot of people were uncertain what type of classifications were going to be put on different cryptocurrencies. Because if XRP was going to be labeled a security, then pretty much all the altcoins besides maybe Ethereum were going to be securities. So a lot of development was dampened by that. 3, we didn't have things like DPIN. Now, I told you about DPIN technology. Solana's really leading the game on the DPIN market. DPIN stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network. So like that, I told you guys about Mobile, Helium Mobile, which is a Solana coin. Helium Mobile, where they map out infrastructure for mapping, kind of like Google Maps. And they also are decentralizing the telecommunications infrastructure. That's part of the DPIN. So far with the Helium Mobile that I've been dealing with, and I'm not trying to show you on anything. Let's just go to the coin real quick. There we go. There it is right there, sitting at 442 million. So far, I have made a couple $100 just by enabling the mapping. So I get paid. I get paid Helium Mobile rewards every day. I don't even use the service yet. I haven't even bought a phone. I don't need a phone. I already have 2 phones. I haven't bought a phone so I could use it for my Helium Mobile, which I can. I already have the phone number for it and all that. I mean, but I'm just enjoying the fact that I could still run the app, and I've made a couple $100. I've made several times over the $20 a month that my service would be. Plus, the coin has gone up significantly in value since I started doing that. It's 38% for the week right now. It was just killing it. I'm gonna give you a little bit of game. These Solana tokens, they're a lick, but this is more. Let me see something. Hold up. This is more advanced game. Like if you're new to the crypto and you ain't really, you know what I'm saying, don't try to run out and do everything. All right. But if you are a little bit more savvy, one of the reasons why I do like Solana, is because it's fast, it's cheap, right? So the trade in between Solana tokens is instant and it's pretty much free. The network fees are so low. So if you do want to get into the pump and dump meme coins and you want to take some risk, Soulflare wallet, add Solana memes, add Solana depends, add Solana projects, and there's usually something pumping. Like I said, don't start trying to do this if you've never even done a Bitcoin transaction and you don't know how to deal with decentralized wallets. I'm just saying this for people who already kind of know. You got it. There's levels to this, but there's always something popping in the Solana memes. So, you know, you could always kind of like, oh shit, that's down 30%. Let me get into that. And then it comes up. Then when you want to get out of it, get into something else that's, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of do it like that. And I do it like that. And then I add to my Solana, right? Which is staking. So like Helium Mobile yesterday was just killing the game. Helium Mobile was gangster. Helium Mobile is like straight gangster. I'm killing everything in here. And it was. And I'm just like, respect the shooter. Do what you do. Anyway, let's get back to this market, though. Let's get back to the market before we get into a couple stories and we get out of here. So Bitcoin, I expect Bitcoin, of course. So like I said before, Bitcoin, the last bull run, we were going through a lot of different things, including the lawsuit. But the final reason why Bitcoin getting to 200,000 isn't far-fetched. Like I've already said, conservatively 150,000 by the end of this bull cycle. I'm standing by that. But the last reason why, I think I gave you 3 reasons, right? There was a pandemic last time, and they got to 69,000, which was 3.5 times the previous all-time high before that. There's the lawsuit going on, which had a lot of people skeptical on what the market would be. We didn't have the ETFs. Another reason. Last time Bitcoin hit its all-time high, or pretty much every time it hits its all-time high, it's after the halving. So last bull cycle, the halving was May. The Bitcoin didn't hit the all-time high until December. Something like that. So it took like 7 months, I want to say. 7 months from after the halving last bull cycle. 7 months after the halving is when it hit the all-time high. Well, we've already hit the all-time high. We've already eclipsed the all-time high 3 times, and we're still like 30 days from the halving. The halving is like a month and a week away. We've already eclipsed all-time high like 3 times. So if that's indicative of something, I'm saying that this bull run is going to be crazy. Bitcoin is going to rock and roll, and it's going to pull Ethereum, and that is going to set off probably an altcoin rush like we have never seen, because we have now AI tokens, gaming tokens on a whole different level. DPIN, which is that decentralized physical infrastructure network. We have so many different things going on. It's going to get crazy. And then also for this bull run, which is going to make the altcoins crazy, is the Daycoon upgrade for Ethereum, which is going to make Ethereum faster and cheaper. Been waiting for this for years, which may cut into some of the Ethereum alternates or Ethereum alternatives. It might cut into some of those, like Cardano, perhaps, unless they have other unique things that they're doing that can be standalone. Speaking of Cardano is, well, it's down for the 7-day now, but it has been running. It's at 73 cents. Avalanche has been killing it. Matic, which is a second layer solution for Ethereum, still expect good things out of that. Immutable X, Stacks, like I've already told you about Stacks. Stacks is second layer Bitcoin. Stacks enables NFTs, which are called ordinals on the Bitcoin blockchain. It enables DeFi, decentralized finance, which wasn't really a thing on Bitcoin. Plus, I showed you that story about Bitcoin also doing the BRC20 agreement with some of the developers. Thorchain, which is, I believe, also a second layer Bitcoin solution, up 50%. Dog with Hat up 83% for the week. That is one of those Solana tokens that I said, yo, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, you can really make some moves if you know how. So some of these coins are just coins that they're not long range, like Bunk. Bunk isn't really a serious thing. The SEI is a coin that is they say they're the fastest, cheapest coin now. I ain't gonna lie, it is up a lot. It's at 2.1 billion. I actually enjoyed a pump when they first listed on Coinbase. It pumped up 12,000% that day. I didn't get all of that, but I got most of it. You know, what else we got? Chili's, they do like NFTs and stuff. They're sporting fan base type of situation going on. 1.3 billion market cap. That's not a lot. It really has a lot of room for growth. Helium. This is just a Helium coin at about $8, but it's down 10% for the week. 1.2 billion. It's something that I do hold. Pith, which is another, that's a Solana. Helium, by the way. Pith, another Solana, up 24%. They have their own like network and DeFi, and I think they have an exchange. Jasmy Engine is a Ethereum gaming token, which really over the last few years have really been doing something, and at a market cap of under $1 billion, that's a lot of room for growth. So just to give perspective of how I do it personally, when I'm looking for some of these coins that are some of these mid cap coins that I think can really do some work, I'm looking for something that's under $1 billion, or under a couple, or maybe a couple billion to $1 billion. And I expect that those within a bull cycle like this could probably 10 to 20x, right? Especially if they have some real things going on. I think because if Bitcoin is going to get to 150, 200,000, it's going to bring these altcoins up significantly. So some of these mid-level coins that are like a few billion or less, yeah, I expect a 10 to 20 could happen. So something like this, you know, Engine coin, 800 million in the market cap, that could 10x to 8 billion. Why not? All right, what else we got? Helium Mobile, like I said, up 38%, you know, and that's the one that I get for free. So I'm not mad about that. And that is some of that DePIN technology. That is some of that decentralized physical infrastructure. Like, understand that if some of these disruptive blockchains really do what they do, you're going to see Helium Mobile. I've already seen it go from 100 million to 440 million since I've been holding it. And it's still, you know, at just under $500 million. If that does take off, now remember, Helium Mobile is the actual sponsor for the University of Miami Hurricanes athletic program. So they are like the official sponsor, mobile sponsor for one of the largest universities in the United States. So if this thing catches on, and, you know, after all the mapping and gridding of the infrastructure, the network that they're doing, and if it becomes a thing, that thing can get to tens of billions. That thing can really explode in price, especially, you know, part of what's going to make some of the blockchain more legitimate, what has been making blockchain more legitimate, is that people are doing decentralized things that are disrupting technology that we use. For instance, I am going live right now on a Brave browser, a decentralized browser created by the creator of the BAT token, the creator of Mozilla Firefox, the creator of the command code for the Snapdragon rocket. Yes, made a browser that you can go live from. That is how you're hearing me live right now. And they pay you to use the browser. They don't track you like Chrome. So that, you know, makes it more fluid. It makes it more faster. If you're using it on a mobile, it takes less energy because it doesn't have all the tracking things going on. And they pay you for the ads that you look at. No, you won't get rich using the Brave browser, but I've never got paid using the Chrome browser, and this browser is a lot better. So that's that. Jito, which is another Solana. So I'm heavy in Solana. I ain't gonna lie. I'm heavy in Solana. I got some BNB projects. I have some Cardano projects, and then I have some other standalone blockchain situations going on that, I'm looking for. But anyway, Jito's only at 260 million. So it's at like a $250 million. So to me, a serious project, you could really, really take it serious once it gets to that $1 billion threshold. Once it gets to that billion, then it's really something. So if you could find something under $1 billion that you think will take it to $1 billion, that's how I play the game. And I love, even more than that, I love to find coins that are under 100 million. We'll get to that in a minute. So Digibyte is something that, if you follow CryptTalk podcast, I've been on Digibyte for a minute. Last time Digibyte went up to 14 cents for the all-time high, which would be about a 10x from where it's at right now. Of course, it dumped down when everything else dumped down. But so I expect that Digibyte could do a 10x from where it's at right now pretty easily. And right now it's at 260 million market cap. Digibyte is DGB coin and the Digibyte blockchain is very underrated. Like, for real. This is an American-made coin. It's very decentralized. It has a 5 consensus algorithm for mining. They use the Digibyte, one of the creations, developments from Digibyte, which is like a security mechanism for entering secured buildings. They use it, I want to say, in what country is that? Belgium, something like that. I think they use it for their actual government buildings. They have the scanner stuff that is built by the Digibyte blockchain. They have DigiID. They have Digi Assets, which are essentially NFTs, and it's fast and it's cheap. It's very secure. It's been around for a minute. It's very underrated. It could be used as the same way that XRP is used because it's so fast, so cheap. It could be used the same way, really. What else we got? Hive Mapper, which is another DePIN technology coin that is on the Solana blockchain. And, they also let you get paid to map out grid infrastructure. It gives you rewards for doing that. And it's at 183 million market cap. So, there's a lot of growth for that, even though it's down 9% for the week. SNCC. Now, SNCC is one of those, listen, it's up 20% for the week. This is a Cardano meme coin. It's not really too special, but they do have a swap. They do have a burning mechanism. They do have staking available if you want to get into that. And they actually have a physical product, SNCC energy drinks. So the way I look at this one, because we're looking at 150 million in the market cap. When I first did a story on SNCC, it was only 10 million. So it's already like 16x from then. When I first started actually buying SNCC, it was like the same month that it actually dropped and went public, and that was last May. And it was only about 2 million. So far, I'm looking pretty good off the SNCC. Where do I think SNCC can go? Listen, if Shiba Inu with no utility on a congested blockchain at the time, with only hype, got to 40 billion market cap, why can't SNCC do the same? I'm not saying that it will. I'm saying, why can't it? Why can't it get to 10 billion, 20 billion, especially if or when it is listed on something like a Coinbase? If it gets listed on Coinbase, it's going to go to 10 billion. So from here, that would be about 100x, right? So I think that could happen. I'm not saying it will happen, but I'm hoping it does. But nevertheless, it's already done very well so far, right? Let's get to one more. Oh, Proppy. Proppy is, it's an Ethereum token that deals with real estate. I think I've went into this before. They've actually, the first NFT, the first house sold as an NFT with the Proppy protocol. They already have a bunch of real estate agents. They're already selling houses, listing houses, and using Proppy as a way to sell homes, and all of the information, all the documents are created and stored on the blockchain, timestamp, the deeds, and all that good stuff. It's revolutionizing how real estate can, how you could do real estate deals. It's actually cutting some of the middleman out of real estate deals, making it more efficient, making you able to purchase houses and bid on houses in 24/7, right? And it's up 37% for the week. This is just a meme coin. This ain't really nothing serious. Green Satoshi token. That's just one of those ones that I just like, I just mess with. Okay, look at this one. Taboo is up 115% for the week. Now, Taboo token I have done. There's actually a video that you could watch right now on my playlist or on my within my videos. And this video I actually did on my other YouTube channel before it was taken down about 4 months ago. But I told you why I thought Taboo had a chance of being a possible diamond in the rough. But I won't get into all that right now. It is a adult themed token. But I will say this, it just recently listed on a smaller centralized exchange, which I think is what's making it pump. And I still do believe that it can get to $1 billion or $2 billion. Right now, it's only at 40 million. So here's the idea. Now, I'm not saying this would happen with this coin, but I just want to give you a mathematical equation so you'll understand how it works and why I look at market cap instead of price of coin. So let's say at 40 million, let's say this was Shiba Inu during the last bull run, right? And if people bought in Shiba Inu at 40 million last bull cycle, two things. Number one, you couldn't have got it on Coinbase when it was at 40 million. I'm talking about Shiba Inu. You could not have got it on Coinbase when it was at 40 million. It wasn't on any centralized major exchanges at 40 million. You had to go through different decentralized exchanges or use wallets that are connected to decentralized exchanges to trade for Shiba Inu at that time. The same way, that's the only way you can get this Taboo token. But those who did get Shiba Inu when it was 40 million in the market cap and held it till it got to 40 billion in the market cap. Well, if you understand math, a billion is 1,000 times a million. So 40 million to 40 billion is 1,000x. So that means people who bought $1,000 worth of Shiba Inu when the market cap was 40 million and held it to the all-time high are millionaires. That's how the millionaires were made, because they got it when it was really low market cap and rode it up. Shiba Inu, that shouldn't have happened. It just happened because of the great timing of the market and the great social media interactions. So Taboo token, I don't expect to get to 40 billion, but if it does, it has been listed on at least one centralized exchange. But I'm just giving you the math of how, a lot of people, the Dogecoin millionaires and the Shiba Inu millionaires, just understand they didn't become millionaires because they bought it once it already listed. The ones who became millionaires off of some of those tokens, they became millionaires because they got it when no one really heard of it. They got it before it was on these centralized exchanges, which means that they knew how to deal with different decentralized protocols and exchanges, which is why I tell you, study Bitcoin, learn how to deal with some of these decentralized protocols, CryptTalkPodcast@gmail.com. Learn or be taught how to do that. And then not only will you be able to assess situations better, not only will you learn about the economics and tokenomics of the crypto game and cycles and things like that, but you'll also know how to use some of these different, devices and protocols that most people don't know. Most people are waiting for the centralization of it to where, some bank is telling you could do this here at our bank, but, it's not going to work like that. At least not to your best interest. So here we go. JoyStream, the last one before we get into the story, because I do got to go. So JoyStream is like a backup YouTube. It's like a YouTube. It's only at 27 million right now. Now, I've been trying to get into JoyStream since it was 16 million, but it's not an easy coin to get into. There's a lot of different off-brand exchanges you have to get it from. Plus, I ain't gonna lie, I'm kicking myself for this now, but when I looked at JoyStream's Twitter, it was like, they ain't did a tweet since last year. Are they even still a thing? But what they do is the same way Odysee, like you can go to Odysee on my description right now, and you can find everything on CryptTalk Podcast. Even though YouTube took it down, it's still there. JoyStream is also like a decentralized type of YouTube where I do have this channel backed on there. So if they ever take this channel, it's backed up on JoyStream. And they'll pay you in Joy tokens you know what I'm saying, to play your videos and stuff like that. So there's that. Anyway, before we get up out of here, let's see what kind of story I do. What story you want to do? Oh, this is something else. This is another reason why this blockchain thing is real, y'all. This blockchain thing is real. That's what I'm saying. Don't wait. Shout out to Demetrius, man. What's up, man? Don't wait until you hear from your bank that they're offering. Don't like people who waited for the ETFs to get it. I understand. A lot of those people were just strictly traditional financial people. They're not techie, they're dinosaurs. They're probably the older generation people who don't really get into the TikToking and the clickety clack on the phones. People like my parents' age, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It does help the market, I guess. I don't really like the fact that, these large billionaire corporations are buying up all the Bitcoin, because Bitcoin was supposed to be for us, right? They ignored it. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, shoot, this is going to be a thing. Well, we need to own it all so we could just have a monopoly on the financial infrastructure again, and it's like, okay, whatever. But here we go. And that's another reason why I say, you want to learn this stuff yourself, man. Don't miss out on one of the greatest wealth transfer you've ever witnessed in human history. Bigger than gold, bigger than oil. And the difference is gold and oil, not everyone had access to, right? You had to have a lot of money to get into oil drilling when oil became a big thing. When gold became a thing, the gold rush, well, not everyone could participate. You pretty much had to be of a specific demographic, racially and economically. And you still had to have money, because there's no guarantee that you were going to mine that gold out. This wealth transfer, which is bigger than both of those, all you need is an internet connection and a smartphone. But anyway, here's what's going on with the banking side of the game. Global banks participate in large-scale blockchain pilot tests. The pilot tests included financial behemoths such as Goldman Sachs, Bank of New York Mellon, it's BNY Mellon, and CBOE Global Markets. Major financial institutions, including Goldman Sachs and all the other ones I just said, have completed. So they're not just starting to pilot this. They have already completed a large-scale pilot test using blockchain technology. Why would these banks be testing blockchain technology? The answer is actually pretty easy. Think about it. So for years, what I did was this. I'm going to take you the long way just so you can really understand this. I'm going to walk you through this. For years, I have two different banks. So for years, what I would do is I would take $100 a week and I would put it into a savings account at a whole different bank, One United Bank, Black-owned bank in California. So what I would do is, so every Friday when I get my direct deposit, automatically I had it set up to where $100 would go to savings, but it would go to savings to my other bank, my One United account. That transaction would be initiated on a Friday. Weekends don't count. 3 business days. It wouldn't be complete till Wednesday. Think about that. For me to transfer $100 from one bank account to another bank account would take 5 days to complete. Now, 5 days, what are they doing that's taking 5 days? Like, did they really send a truck or a courier to my one bank and then run that $100 down to California where the other bank branch is at? No, they didn't like physically move the $100. All they did is updated ledgers. That's it. Ledger updated. Well, that's what blockchain is, except for it doesn't take 5 business days. It takes like 30 minutes in the case of Bitcoin, a split second in the case of XRP and other coins. So of course banks are going to want to utilize a technology that makes it more efficient and cheaper for them to do business, especially when they do transfers globally. So according to a March 12th Bloomberg report, institutional investors executed over 350 simulated transactions via distributed ledger technology, that's blockchain, in areas such as tokenized assets, fund registry, digital cash, repo, security lending, and margin management on the Canton network, which was launched May of last year by startup Digital Assets Holding. The pilot test included 15 asset managers, 13 banks, 4 custodians, 3 exchanges, and the stablecoin issuer Paxos Trust. And an announcement the same. So they are already, and they've been doing these kind of different pilot tests. They are gearing up. They're going blockchain. Okay, that's what these banks are doing because it's a lot more efficient. And once they really get fully acclimated to blockchain, then they're going to start coming out with their own coins like JP Morgan already has. They're going to start offering you things that already exist right now. Of course, they're not going to do it for free. You're not going to reap the same benefits, which is fine if you're not already hip to this stuff. But if you are, I'm just letting you know, anything that these banks are going to offer you, and yes, they are definitely going to start offering. You already know this because the ETFs are already out. Anything that they're going to offer you, once they really get a lock on this blockchain game, is stuff that already exists right now. Staking, borrow, lending, all that kind of stuff already exists right now. So an announcement the same day, the Canton Network said that 155 participants from 45 major organizations have since demonstrated settlement across 22 permission blockchains. So these are private blockchains that are going to require permission because they're going to be highly centralized. Of course, it's their block. It's going to be their. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to be decentralized, unpermissioned, without the need of an intermediary. It's not going to be that, right? So, there's that. Let's see, before we get out here, anything else? Oh, of course. One more thing before we go. And here's another reason why you need to learn how to deal with decentralized exchanges and why you don't really trust centralized exchanges and you don't want to keep too much on your Coinbase or Binance or whatever. Because as always, every single time Bitcoin starts to surge, Coinbase records outages. Just somehow, all of these years, Coinbase has never figured out how to deal with the surging Bitcoin price. But that's cap. We don't even really have to get into the story because this happens virtually every time Bitcoin hits all-time high. All of a sudden, Coinbase has outages. Why? Because they're a centralized exchange. They don't want to buy your Bitcoin when it's at the all-time high. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you who bought your Bitcoin maybe a year ago from Cash App or somewhere else to come back and put it on your Coinbase to sell it, and then they have to buy the bag when it's at an all-time high. That's not a good business model for them. So, of course, there's quote-unquote wink, wink outages. It happens all the time. Look, Coinbase, if you're familiar with CryptTalk podcast, Coinbase used to, early on when I first started CryptTalk podcast, they used to announce like what coins they're going to start listing. Like, oh, on this day, we're going to list this coin, this day at this time. So if you had money on Coinbase, like you just wait for that time, and then you switch whatever you have into that coin because you knew that coin that they just listed was going to pump. So I've had situations like that. I've had situations where I read a story about Dash, which is a kind of a privacy crypto that used to be on Coinbase. And they're like, okay, 40 Burger Kings in Venezuela are going to accept Dash tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, boom, let me switch all my little couple $100 that I had in Coinbase at the time to Dash. Next day, Dash pumped. And any coin that they just listed when they projected they were going to list it, that's why they don't do that so much now. It would pump several 100%. But guess what would happen when I try to trade out of those coins when that coin was pumping heavy? I get all these error messages from Coinbase. Hey, we're sorry. To make sure that you get the best price, it was capped. They didn't want to do the trade. So I just had to keep on hitting the button, executing. Finally would go through. So this is what happens. Similar to Robinhood, when everybody was making that money off Robinhood and they just paused all transactions. That's what centralized exchanges can do. That's why you do have to learn how to deal with decentralized exchanges because they only work via smart contract with no one. As long as there's liquidity, meaning that people has provided liquidity for that pair that you're trading in and out of, the execution is going to go through. There's no one saying, oh, man, I'm going to lose money if this goes through. No, it's all just smart contract. It's just following the code. Follow the code. That's it, y'all. I got to go. I've been doing this a little bit too long. Where to buy SNCC? Okay, so that's a good question. And like I said before, when it comes to these coins, man, that are very low market cap, you're not going to find them on centralized exchanges. All right. So the way you can get SNCC is you have to have Cardano, which you can get at Coinbase, or you could probably get it through one of your wallets. If you have like Atomic Wallet or a Trust Wallet, you could probably buy Cardano. Then you have to link your wallet. You have to have a Cardano wallet. So I have like a dozen different wallets, and people are like, "How come you have so many wallets?" Because some of my wallets are interoperable with different, like Exodus Wallet, Trust Wallet. Some wallets you can hold all kinds of different coins. Some wallets are specific to that blockchain, right? Some wallets are blockchain specific. For instance, I have it's called a Vespr wallet, VESPR. That's a Cardano exclusive wallet. That wallet is already connected to one of Cardano's decentralized exchanges where you can trade Cardano for SNCC, right? But you have to have Cardano first. You download that particular wallet, the Vespr wallet, you can trade in and out to SNCC. Or the way I really first started getting SNCC is I had a MinSwap. So MinSwap is a decentralized exchange on the Cardano blockchain. Sunday Swap, MinSwap, they have a few of them. And if you have that, then you can connect a wallet to MinSwap, right? I know it's kind of complicated. Then you can trade Cardano for SNCC or for any other Cardano token. So you have to basically use a decentralized exchange that is made exclusively for Cardano to get SNCC. And maybe I'll show you how to do that on a how-to tutorial at some other time right now, maybe this weekend. So that's how it goes. Just like the BNB tokens that I have. I had to go to Pancake Swap. I had to switch my Binance to Binance Smart Chain. I had to connect my Trust Wallet to Pancake Swap. I had to copy and paste the contract code of that token I wanted to get into and put it in there, and then adjust the slippage and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? You can't just straight up buy it using credit cards because they don't have any traditional financial payment rails yet. That doesn't happen until they pass about $1 billion market cap. So the kind of moves that you can make, this is why I say you have to learn about this stuff. And I'll do some more how-to tutorials, and you can always hit me up at CryptTalk podcast@gmail.com, because to get into some of these coins that really have that 1,000x potential, they're not on centralized exchanges yet. Shiba Inu didn't get to Coinbase until they got like to 4 billion in the market cap. Then it ran up to 40 billion. You know what I'm saying? People who made millions off of Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, they got it before it was easily available on Coinbase or Binance or Robinhood. That's the key for those type of flips. Of course, it's more risky because you don't know, unless you really thoroughly investigate that project, you don't know if it really has that type of potential. Once you learn a little bit more, you can assess it. But guess what? I have been wrong before. I am holding billions of coins that are dead projects that were rug pulled. I do have a few projects that everything is done. But you live and you learn. Anyway, I'm out, y'all. Appreciate you guys. You can always hit me up at CryptTalkPodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I appreciate the comments and all that good stuff. I'm out. Peace.